but I don't know if it's possible for me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach my goals. Like, I don't know if I'm smart enough. I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if I know enough people. Hey everybody, it's Leah and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am the owner of Fifth and More Store, all things personal development and stationery to help you create a life you desire and deserve. And this is the channel where we talk about all things mindset, spiritual wellness, and personal development so that you can also create the life you desire and deserve. If you're not new here, hey, I am back, but we are up close and personal today. And the reason why is because I had to come to a restaurant. There is a terrible storm here, and it is not raining as bad now. However, the power at my home is out, and so this was the nearest destination where it was still a storm, but they also had power. And sometimes I feel like the universe just kind of tests you to say, do you really want what you say you want? And so I decided to not only come to a restaurant to grab something to eat so that we can have light, things like that, but I was like, you know what? This is the perfect time to film my content and get it done. And it's actually perfect for today's topic either way, because really wanted to talk about, like, you know, why it's hard to bring your goals into reality. So if you know me, you're following me on Instagram. If you're not, follow me at Fifth and More Store everywhere on social media. That's my TikTok, that's my Instagram, that's our Facebook, Fifth and More Store. Consistently I'm talking about like journaling and planning and how to use your journals and planners to help you create this life you desire and deserve. And maybe some people don't believe it. Maybe you're like, yeah, I hear people talking about that all the time, but I don't really believe that you know, it's as easy as that. And the honest to God truth is that it is very simple. It is as simple as that. Simple doesn't always mean easy, but it literally is as simple as that. Like, for example, I was talking to someone today and like, hey, you know, what are your goals? And they're like, oh, you know, I don't really have any goals. I just want to be successful. You know, they continue to say that they wanted to be able to just be able to pay their bills and, you know, live a comfortable life. They don't have to be rich. And the thing is, when you have vague things like that, chances are you're probably not going to reach any of those goals, and it's going to be very difficult if you do. And so I want to talk about why you are not able to always bring your goals into reality, why you have the challenges that you continue to have, and what you can do to overcome them. So this is literally a moment where if you do not have your journals, from Fifth and More Store, might I add, but if you don't have your journals and notebooks, this is a place where you would want to get them, because this is definitely something that you want to write down. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the illusion of belief. And I want to say illusion of belief because a lot of times what we believe consciously, we don't believe subconsciously. And I'm going to say that again. What you believe consciously, you most likely don't believe subconsciously. So let's just use something as simple as someone having the goal, right? The goal of whether it's going to school to get a degree, or whether it is starting your own business, or maybe it is, maybe you have a job right now, you're making, I don't know what average salary is, $40,000, $50,000 a year, but you really are like, it's not enough, and I want to be able to make $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000, right? And so people will make aspiring goals like that all the time. Like, I want to go to college, I want to get my master's degree, I want to go, I want to be able to start my own business, or I want to be able to make more money in my career. And even though your mouth says it, and your conscious mind is like, okay, well, I've seen other people do this, so I should be able to do it. But then deep down inside, it's like, but I don't know if it's possible for me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach my goals. Like, I don't know if I'm smart enough. I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if I know enough people. And you begin to put the doubt in your mind. And so when you doubt yourself, okay, then you're going to create the resistance and the challenges that come along with the journey that you're trying to take. And whatever you subconsciously believe, you have to receive. So if you are a person and you're like, hey, I want to go to school to get my degree, but then you sign up, the classes are hard. Sometimes it's a struggle to get the classes to line up the way you need them. You don't have a babysitter or whatever it is. You'll have all these life obstacles that will come at you until you give up. And then when you give up, it really is just going to validate what the subconscious belief was. Even though you may still believe, like, man, I see all these people going to school, all these people graduated, I do not understand, why it's so hard for me. Well, it's so hard for you because subconsciously you created the resistance because you don't believe in yourself enough. So that is one of the reasons why the goal may be hard. Let's talk about somebody who may want to start their own business. You want to start your own business, and so you do, right? And then you start posting on social media, things like that, and you're like, oh, I'm not making any money. I'm not making any sales. My business is not doing this. Why are these people making sales? They're doing the same thing that I'm doing. And so you have to really tap into your subconscious beliefs to say, what is my belief that is coming true? Because technically what we see in a reality is always just going to be a delayed response of whatever is in here. Your conscious mind is only making about 5% or less of the things happen every single day. Your subconscious mind is what's unfolding in front of you as a true reality that is actually getting you your results. So anytime that you're not seeing the results that you want to get, and I do the same thing, I have to ask myself, what belief am I holding on to that is playing out in front of me right now, right? And if it's something that I desire that's not coming to me, then I have to see, is it a belief that I am aligned with subconsciously, and if so, where is that belief coming from? And in my meditation, going back to probably the earliest times that I can remember something, so that I can release those things and say, hey, that was then, this is now, this is no longer a part of me. This belief is no longer a part of me. And so if I have to be completely honest, a belief that continues to follow me that I have to work against a lot of times is the belief that I have to work hard. Okay, so I grew up with not poor, but a standard middle class family where my parents worked hard for what they had. They also were raised to believe that if you want something, if you want to achieve the American dream, that you have to be able to work hard. So whether I wanted to align with this or not, I was aligned with the fact that if I ever wanted to achieve something, I had to work hard. It literally wasn't until 2 years ago when I was literally in tears one day because I was working on something and I'm like, this is not working. I know that I'm doing everything right. I just really don't understand. And I happened to be listening to a podcast that day. He basically said, whatever it is that you're living right now, you created it. So go back in your mind and figure out when it was created and undo it. And I kid you not, it was like I stood on the treadmill as I was ready to start my workout, and I just was like, God, please send me the earliest times. Like, why is everything hard for me? Why? I just don't understand. And honestly, my conscious mind could have never pulled this up, but probably I want to say about 10 to 15 minutes into my walk on the treadmill, it came to me as clear as day. And it was my mom telling me that if you want to do something, you're going to have to work hard. It was my mom saying, because you're black, because you're a woman, because you're a black woman in America, that you're going to have to work hard. Those came back to me as clear as day. And I don't know how old I was, but I definitely remember being a very young girl. And so I always grew up being this quote unquote overachiever. And I was always an overachiever because I was made to to believe that I didn't deserve anything unless I worked hard. And so that became something that was just ingrained in me, and now even at my age it's something that I have to work against. Like I have to go against that grain. No, I don't have to work hard. I deserve success just as much as anybody else. Success comes easily and effortlessly to me. I have to affirm those things. So you have to go into your belief systems to figure out, why am I not aligning with my reality? Where did these beliefs come from? And then talk to your subconscious mind and let it know that was then, this is now, that's old, and we're coming into the new. And in the new, I am able to whatever it is that you desire. Okay. And so that kind of does lead me into the second thing. So the first one is that you don't truly believe that you can subconsciously, but the second part is that you believe that your dreams require this intense hard work, similar to what I just said, right? And so while hard work is essential, like you can't avoid the work. The work doesn't have to be hard. The work doesn't have to be strenuous. If you're always in the mode of doing to make something happen, you're actually in a phase of resistance, and you're really just keeping whatever it is you want from happening. You have to learn to be in the state of allowance, right? You have to learn to allow. You do the actions that is required to achieve the result, but you have to allow the result to happen and not force it to happen because you think you have to work. So when you're in that action phase, and I'm trying not to say work, but when you're in that action phase and you feel like I'm doing and I'm exhausted and I'm tired and it's hard, you're not in alignment, right? You're not in alignment and you're not in allowance. You basically should be doing the actions or completing the actions that it's going to take to achieve the results, but then that's it. You let it go. You don't have any control over what happens. You have to just be able to let it go and enjoy life. Go live life, go do something fun, go dance, go sing, go draw, or whatever it is that you need to do in order to be able to allow and attract your the results that you want to you. So for example, I love to use myself as an example because these are like real true stories, but it's like growing my business. Like sometimes like you're sending out emails or you're posting on social media and you're not always getting the response that you want. And so when I stopped worrying about getting a certain amount of responses or a certain amount of engagements and just posting and saying, this is the action that I need to take and this is the communication that I need to have, and whomever this action falls upon, who needs to receive it will receive it, that's when I actually started getting the results. Like, ooh, I sent out this email and, I got a sale from my Shopify store. Or, I posted this on social media and I have 3 people in my DMs. And it's really just focusing on who I was serving the value to and trusting that it was going to fall on the right ears instead of having the expectations that I'm going to send out this email and, I expect this many people to, purchase, or I'm going to send out this post and I expect this many people to like or comment or something like that. Is letting that all go, not trying to determine the outcome. So again, it's that whole you believe that you have to work hard, but it's really the opposite of that. You need to take the actions that are needed to reach the required results, but you don't have control over the outcome. And once you put it out there, you need to let it go, and then you let whatever happens happen. So you go into the allowing phase. And then the third reason that you're not really reaching your goals. So number 1 was that you really don't believe in yourself. Number 2 is that you're tied to the belief that if you're not working hard, you won't get it. And then number 3 is embracing risk and really trusting yourself. One of the biggest obstacles that I feel like most people face in life is that they fear stepping out of their comfort zones. You fear taking risks. You don't take a risk because you don't know if it's going to work. But in fact, you can't know unless you absolutely step out to take a risk. I see it every single day, especially by being an entrepreneur. I have people that don't even want to invest in their business. business. Like they'll ask questions like, oh, I wanted to buy such and such, but I wanted to see if anyone else had an idea of whether it was going to work or not. Well, even if I bought something, it doesn't mean that it's going to work in my business, but it might work in your business. It's honestly the growth. The most growth that will ever happen is when you learn to embrace the unknown. As long as you cannot take a step unless you absolutely know what the results will be, you are operating in your comfort zone. The only way to get out of the comfort zone and embrace the growth and changes that happen is to be able to take risks. Calculated, of course, but nonetheless be able to take the risk. So I'm going to just give a small recap, and that's one is you don't really believe that you can achieve your goals. Number two, you believe that if you're not working hard, relentlessly working hard at your goals, that you're not going to reach them. And I denounce that hustle culture. I don't do that. I denounce the 5 a.m. club. I'm definitely not getting up at 5 a.m. I'm not even productive at 5 a.m. Right? So I don't believe in all of that. I believe that you have to do what feels good to you, because if it doesn't feel good, then typically you're just not in alignment. And so learning to be able to trust yourself, to be able to make the decisions, to be able to allow those things that's going to happen to you, those are the things that's going to bring you the results that you absolutely want. Now, not going to leave here without letting you know that you have to start writing things down. So I just talked about at the beginning of the video about how someone said they really didn't have goals. You also cannot keep things in your head. I am a firm believer that you write the vision and you make it plain. So if you have a goal to be able to go to school, not only do you need to be able to write the goals down or write out the resources that's going to be able to help you, you also need to be able to write out what are the obstacles that I typically face when I attempt to reach certain goals in my life. The reason why you need to write out what obstacles typically come your way is because they're typically not different. Life typically will life the way that it needs to get you to stop moving out of your comfort zone and to keep you in that place of consistency. So you need to be able to write out the obstacles that tend to come your way, and then you need to write how you're going to handle them. So this is why I have the success planner, and because the success planner has in there not only you putting together your vision board or you writing out your goals, but it's also planning out the obstacles so that you can actually maneuver around them. Like, okay, I knew this was coming. I have a backup plan for this, so that you could actually reach your goals. So if you have not yet checked out the Faith and More store for our personal development stationery, which includes guided journals and guided planners, which is really going to help you kick all of those limiting beliefs and move closer to your dreams and goals, go ahead and check that out. Definitely going to leave it in the description box. And as always, if you learn anything in this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Okay, if you watched all this time and you're not a subscriber, girl, what are you doing? I've definitely shared, help us grow this channel. Thank you so much for the number of subscribers that you helped us get since our last video, but we're still on a journey to at least 250 subscribers. That's our first stop. So definitely share this with someone that you feel like it would be beneficial, and don't forget to leave a comment and let me know how much this helped you and what was your favorite takeaway. All right.